let's get really into some of the most valuable ways that we see real estate using Monday. And so, again, this is just going to be a common use case, not something that's meant to be a replacement or a standardization that everybody must apply to. Flexibility is one of the key values of what Monday.com allows for. And so, for us to really understand the full value of how a real estate company might benefit from Monday, we worked very closely with a large number of agencies to help hone in on the most common use cases, but also create, again, that idea for flexibility when doing an implementation. And with that, we've come across a standard, typical workflow. And so, Godon, again, there's a lot to talk about here when we look at this. Again, the
Sure.
flexibility is key, but the standardization is essential.
That's right. I think there's a lot to say here, and obviously for the benefit of everyone here, Mark, what we're trying to do in these webinars is focus on one or two areas of how Monday.com can be used within real estate, and not to try and do a true end-to-end demonstration with all the pieces tucking and tying together, because that could be overwhelming, and that would take more than the 15-20 minutes of demonstration time that we have here today. So what we've chosen to do is really just hone in on that transaction management aspect of things, and even within that, pick one or two aspects that hopefully will pique your interest and give you a sense of what's possible with Monday, and then certainly opportunity to dig deeper after the webinar. So in this particular slide, what we're just showing you is a typical life cycle of a property as it goes through a listing process, eventually to be sold. We see on the bottom left of the slide the sales pipeline, where a particular brokerage might be sourcing leads, and this is using Monday's ever-growing CRM product, which is really powerful. Along the way, interactions occur with that potential customer. Are they going to sign a contract with the brokerage to represent them? If they do, we can produce a nice contract, PDF generation, facilitate signature with the customer if necessary. And then we go into that really kind of step-by-step granular listing process that you see in the middle of the screen, where the brokerage can look at all transactions by transaction coordinator, by area, by price point, by feature, and then kind of facilitate the interactions between the seller and potential buyers, entertain any offers that are made all through Monday. And then, of course, where the real value is, the real aha, is that real-time dashboard reporting, where leadership can see at any point where the brokerages are at, what sales have occurred, what the pipeline looks like, and make decisions based on that. So what Mark's going to jump into is just demonstrate a couple of aspects of this process, but know that we at Purple Plum have this as part of our broader real estate solution. And you'll hear that terminology. And really, when we say real estate solution, it's a collection of valuable templates that can either help you jumpstart your existing business as you move to Monday.com, or kind of inspire you to understand and believe what is possible with Monday. And then based on that, chart out your own journey and more of a tailored workflow approach. And that's really where we see a lot of flexibility with our solution. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It's just inspiration and an opportunity to get started and see what's possible.
What we'd like to do for a moment is jump into some listing templates. And this is, to me, where the rubber meets the road. This is where it gets really exciting, because we can talk about the data in a big abstract, but what I want to do right now is share with you how it all comes together, how it's actionable, and doesn't live as, unfortunately, many experiences are. It's just a static spreadsheet, right? And we go to it and nothing changes unless the manager makes that change. And so with that, I'm going to bring up one of our, again, examples on the transaction management. This is an example of some listings. And if this is your first time viewing this type of interface, what I'll do is, in fact, let me collapse all these settings right here. And we're going to go into just again, the common workflow, pre-market properties coming soon, active, and so on. These are just status labels. You can label them any way you'd like. You can color them any way you'd like. You can order them as it's appropriate for you. So this is just for you and for your vision of how you operate. What you'll see here, and this is a very built out example, I have all of my transaction coordinators, my agents, my marketing, my office managers, my photographers, on and on it goes, so that when a property is listed, I have a workflow that automates for me, making the appropriate assignments automatically, taking a big sigh of relief from the transaction coordinator or whomever your office manager might be, but also, as I was mentioning earlier, providing clarity. And so again, I pulled back just for a moment so we can see exactly what we're looking at, but I have a couple of different listings in here, some pre-market, some coming soon, some active. What I'd like to do is focus on this specific property right here, which is in my coming soon section. What you'll see most immediately is that this battery widget right here showing me all the items that need to be done before this property can go live are not complete. So if I wanted to get a deeper understanding of what each of these concerns means, I'll click right here on this to expand all of my sub items. And immediately I can see what's been done, what's being worked on, and what's stuck. So here we see Carrie, who's writing up the property description. She's stuck. There's a problem, and we can see that this is now almost over 2 months behind. So with that, instead of going, oh gosh, I wonder what tasks are done, I wonder what's missing from this listing, why can't it go live? I can zoom right in, see all of the actions that need to occur, and be more efficient with my time, right? Really just bringing back some ownership of your energy because it's all here and it's all clarified. As another view, because this is very exciting and there's so many different ways to put it together, I'm going to open up this item here, this opportunity, and see all the different item cards that we put together, showing us all the details of the property. Again, in this case, this is a listing. So I have list price, the property type, how many levels, bedrooms, square footage, on and on it goes. And by having everything all in one location, yes, we have quick access to the data, but it becomes much more of an actionable location here as well. And what does that mean? Well, for right now, I'll just give you a quick example. I'll click in the Files section, and I'll see all the relevant files that have occurred for this property. So if I wanted to hold my listing agreements in here for history's sake, if I want to see my offers, whatever I want to put in here, I have that opportunity as well. And one area that I'm not going to get into right now is the communication aspect of it. So all of my emails, all of my meetings, all of the details that I want to share and keep as a history for my clients, I have in this one location right here. Was there anything else that you would want to share in this view?
I think obviously it's what should be apparent is there's a lot of moving parts in Monday and a lot of features that could be leveraged, and that doesn't mean every feature should be leveraged. And the challenge with every implementation is to leverage those features that make the most sense for that particular organization based on their size, based on their business model, and then set it up accordingly. This is always an example of one approach, but as invariably is the case, we start with this, we talk to the client, and then we refine and package it for their specific needs. So maybe you love this checklist of items, or maybe it's too detailed, and there's an alternate way to do it as an example. So it's all about flexibility and really Lego building blocks, if you like, that can be assembled for the workflow that makes sense for your organization.